Your Apple Watch comes loaded with a lot of powerful features, and in this video I'm going to go ahead and share with you my top 15 favorite ones. So since WWDC is just around the corner, that's when we're going to go ahead and finally see the next generation of software for the Apple Watch for watchOS 27. And so let's go ahead and quickly run down all the amazing things that 26 has to offer. And of course, timestamps to all this stuff will be in the description down below for your pleasure. Let's start off with the commonly less known ones, because every Apple Watch has built-in GPS. And the benefit of having this is that you can offload maps directly to the Apple Watch. It's just, unfortunately, you cannot do it directly on the Apple Watch to do this. You have to go on your iPhone to get started. So I'm gonna move this aside. On the iPhone, you need to launch the Apple Map app. And then when you're at this page, select your profile picture on the top right. And then just go ahead and select offline maps right here. From here, you'll see a list of the ones you already created. If you like to delete it, you can literally highlight it, rename it, and then hit delete. But if you like to download like a new area, select download new map, and just type in the area you like to offload. And from here, you could adjust the size if you want to make it smaller or larger. And then in real time, it'll show you the storage right here, how much it will take for both your iPhone and your Apple Watch. And just tap download. It will give you the real-time status right above here. And once it's done, you'll get a notification and you'll see that the Apple Watch is pending. Now it will automatically download and install on the Apple Watch when you start charging it overnight. But if you like to override it, select it and go down, and on the very bottom where it says your Apple Watch, this is where it says pending, but as soon as you hit download now, it will override it and immediately force your Apple Watch to install that offload map, regardless if the Apple Watch is on the charging dock. And once it's done, just go ahead and launch the map app. And now if you don't have reception, no worry, your built-in GPS with the offload map, you'll be able to see exactly where you are. Now, if you ever find yourself hiking, one of the best features is by holding down the power button on your Apple Watch, regardless if it's the Apple Watch Ultra or regular series or the SE Apple Watch, enable backtracking right here. This will utilize the built-in GPS, compass, and basically keep track of the path. So when you're ready to come back, all you need to do is just follow the line and it'll take you directly on the path you took to get back safely. So when you're ready to backtrack, you simply just tap here and then select retrace path. And all you need to do is just follow the line and you'll make it back to the campsite where you first started. Now, I have seen some comments and some users reporting that their backtracking isn't working for them. You are going to need to go on your iPhone and go into your settings. And then in settings, just go into privacy and security right in here. And tap on location services. And then scroll down till you find compass. Right here is this black icon. And just make sure you have while using the app as well as precise location enabled. And then next thing you got to do is, what I like to do is just exit out here and just search up system services, click on it, and go all the way to the very bottom. This bottom one, enabled, make sure it's turned on. It will require Face ID and just have it turned on. This will record all your previous logs on locations you've been going to. So this is what you need to enable to have backtracking work. Because if I go ahead and turn it off and then just confirm, and we go back to the watch and activate tracking, you'll get this message on your watch saying that it cannot do it unless you change that setting, but it doesn't specify the exact setting. But now you know exactly what to do. So thanks to the recent Apple update, if you like to track your battery life on your other Apple devices, just bring down Control Center, tap the battery percentage icon, and just scroll down. You'll see your list of other Apple devices right here, including Beats will also be displayed right here as well. Now, when starting a workout, there's a couple of tips and hidden features that Apple does a terrible job in explaining. You see, whenever you start a workout, an example, you don't have to tap play to start the workout. If we exit this real quick, I could tap like the top part of the screen. It will automatically start the workout, and I can bypass the 3-second timer by just tapping anywhere on the screen and it'll immediately start. And of course, if you do a double tap, it'll start segments as well. So if you're doing like a marathon run and you like to create different segments on your PRs, you could easily track it like so. But what a lot of people don't know, all these green ones basically just means it's an open workout. It will start and end until you manually turn it off. But if you like to be notified whenever you reach like a certain time or a calorie goal, select this little clock stopwatch icon on the top right, And when you do goals, you could either set it for a 30-minute timer where the watch will haptic feedback you, letting you know that your 30 minutes is up, or you could select like a calorie goal. And when you start that workout, it will have its own unique color theme now and will vibrate your wrist or notify you once you hit the 100-calorie mark or whatever custom goal you selected. And then when receiving an incoming call, if you like to transfer this call to the iPhone, you could select these little dots right here and then select your iPhone. It will automatically transfer the call from the watch to your phone. And then if you like to transfer it back to the Apple Watch, go back on your watch, select the phone call, and then select this little icon on the bottom over here, and then transfer the audio back to the Apple Watch. And then let's say you're receiving a phone call, but you don't have a chance to pick up on your Apple Watch, but you like to send that caller to your iPhone without them having to call back or missing the call. This arrow icon, select this, it will automatically put them on hold. And then if you end up not making it, you could actually reply to the text message, like I'll call you back later, or send a custom message. But if you go back to your iPhone, you have the ability to slide to pick up the call. So right now you picked up the call, but they are on hold. This way they don't miss your call. So you can just slide and you can start talking to them. And then if your device is not on silent, as you can see, it's pretty loud. If we receive an incoming call or a text message, if you cover your wrist up and hold it for a couple seconds, your watch will vibrate, letting you know that the call is ended. But if you look closely, your device is now on silent. And if this doesn't work for you, go into your Apple Watch settings to enable this feature. Go in gestures and go down until you find cover to mute and enable it. So probably one of the most underrated features in Control Center is theater mode. Theater mode is pretty cool because as soon as you cover your wrists, it will blacken your screen. It will disable always on display. And then if you like to take a quick peek, if you feel like a vibration for like a notification, rotate digital crown. It will slowly like dim up, and then you can decide to dim it back down. This way you're not interrupting people next to you in a dark theater. In addition to that, if you ever drop something, if you go into your flashlight, it will default to red because red is known to maintain your night vision. And this way, you're not blinding everybody else in case you drop your phone on a bomb or something and you're having a hard time finding it. That's your light source. It only does that as a backup in theater mode. It'll automatically select that. Now, the Apple Watch camera app is super powerful as there's many unique ways you can actually benefit from using this. So if you launch the app, it will automatically connect to your iPhone. It will automatically launch. You can basically treat this as a viewfinder. But one of the most powerful things I like to do is mechanical work. You can control the flashlight, and this allows the iPhone to go and squeeze in harder to reach areas so you can see roll off your wrists. In addition to that, I've seen some people also use this as a baby monitor. They leave their phone on the crib, just temporary, and you can monitor the kid right on your watch. And the range is pretty good, especially if you're using a modern day Apple Watch, but paired with a modern day iPhone. But let's say your baby is asleep and you misplace your iPhone, and instead of going into Control Center and like playing that loud pin noise to locate your phone, a stealth method of doing this is launch the camera app. Your phone is not flipped upside down like this. If it is, you could always flip the camera. So you can use this viewfinder to help locate your misplaced phone in case you lost it somewhere in the house and you don't risk waking up the little ones. So a couple amazing tricks right there. And then real quick, folks, if you've been finding this video informative and useful so far, if you could kindly take 2 seconds to hit that like button and that truly does help out the channel, as that allows the channel to be powered by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see brand sponsorship segments taking like a minute or two off your time. Thanks to you guys, but just hitting a like button really does support the channel because we don't have to rely on brand and makes everybody else's viewing experience pleasant. Because we don't have integrated ads for like VPN or something like that. So thanks to you guys, we don't have to rely on them. So thank you so much for those that took the time and hit that like button. Really does mean a lot. Let's carry on. Now, if you have a lot of timers on your wrist, as an example, on your timer app, you can always ask Siri to clear them all. Clear all timers. Do you want to cancel and it just say yes. And now if we go back to that app, all timers are cleared and we can start new ones. And then instead of tapping or looking for like a certain timer on your timer app, you can always just tell Siri 30 minutes, 5 seconds, and Siri will automatically understand what you mean. So here's an example. 30 seconds. Saving you a little bit of time instead of saying start a blank timer. Now, probably one of the most underrated features on an iPhone is the focus tab. You see, whenever we go into the focus tab, where is it? Here it is. You have these categories, right? By default, you have work, sleep, some custom ones, game modes, fitness, driving. But reduce interruption is probably one of the most underestimated ones, because when you start this, it will utilize Apple Intelligence and will only notify you in case somebody sends you a call with a voicemail saying it's an emergency, a text message saying that it's an emergency, or your car alarm or home alarm goes off, and then it will send you a notification. It will only prioritize urgent messages utilizing Apple Intelligence. So if it's like you need to extend your vehicle's warranty, it's likely going to ignore that. But if it says your car got into a wreck from a friend who saw that accident, then you'll get that notification. It understands complex sentences to be able to understand what's a priority notification that needs to be sent to your wrist and what's just junk mail of like 50% off at a Bass Pro store or something like that near you. It's a lot easier than having to go in and customize your focus tabs, in my opinion. Now, I love my Apple Watch Ultra, but the only drawback to the Ultra is this power button. Sometimes when I'm working out, I could press it, as you just see me do right there. Which is why it's good to know that you can change the orientation of this button to be on this side instead. So if you like to go ahead and swap that out. Some people say this is the incorrect way of using an Apple Watch. Honestly, I like wearing it this way. I'm only wearing it this way because it looks better on the camera. But go into your Apple Watch settings, and go into General, and go into orientation, and from here where it says wrist, go below that and select digital crown location. Select left, and then just go ahead and swap the Apple Watch band appropriately, and you'll discover it's actually easier to operate, because when you press over here, you're like moving your screen, but when you're pressing the power button this way, you're not moving your screen. And the microphone arrays are all over the Apple Watch, so you're not going to experience any microphone quality issues if you have to answer a call. This is the method I personally prefer wearing it, and you're less likely to damage anything. Now, the Apple Watch has the ability to switch between the watch faces by sliding your finger on the bottom of the screen like you're seeing me do right here. It's just unfortunate this is disabled by default. Before, this was an enabled feature, but now if you like to re-enable this, so in order to set that up, you need to go into your Apple Watch settings, go into clock right in here, and where he says swipe to switch, enable that, and now you're set. Now with these latest generation Apple Watches, if you need to exchange contact information, it's as easy as simply just tapping your watch to another iPhone or another Apple Watch. And you'll each immediately just transfer your contact information just like that. And you can control what you wanted to show too, if you just want your email or your phone number to show, or both. You could also do a very similar thing with completing money transactions thanks to Apple Tap to Cash. You can now just double tap the power button on the side of your Apple Watch and just go down and select the payment method of choice, go down and tap on tap to cash, and just add the number amount, hit continue, and double tap to confirm. And now you simply just tap another device, could be an iPhone or another Apple Watch. A cool animation will appear, and you just simply complete a transaction just like that. I've used this quite a bit already, and it comes out to be really helpful. And then when it comes to gesture controls, a double tap on the digital crown will obviously bring up your app switcher. A double tap on the power button will bring up your Apple Pay. A single tap on the power button will bring up your control center. And a long hold on top, regardless if you're on the home page or not, you'll always have access to your notifications. And if an app is ever acting funny, a long hold on the power button and a long hold on the digital crown will force close the app. So next time when you open it, it will start from fresh. And there you guys have it. Those were a handful of amazing tips and tricks and hidden features you can do on the Apple Watch side of things. If you wish to watch more and would like to see some cool tips and tricks and some additional party tricks you could do on the Apple CarPlay side of things, I covered that in greater detail in that video you see right next to me. Yeah, I go ahead and share with you some cool tools in there I definitely recommend checking out. So you too also can get the best usage out of your Apple CarPlay experience. Thank you so much for watching.